Sixers universe. What's up, guys? Hashtag fire Doc Rivers. Yesterday, I gave Dale Morey, David Blisser, the Sixers ownership. I gave them hell for how they are continuing to botch the situation. Because I believe whether now, 4 months from now, etc., you're not going to get a superstar for T5. He's on a max contract. He's poisonous. He burned all the bridges. Holding out. Who wants this? I mean on a rebuilding team. Who believes for a second that, you know what, I'm going to invest in this guy and he's going to give me his full effort. He's going to try and unlock his shot. He's going to be a willing teammate to my guys. When he's not willing to be a teammate to Joel Embiid, to Tobias Harris, to Seth Curry. If he can't operate in that situation, why would I think I could build around this guy? All of Ben Simmons' previous awards, they are hanging up on his wall in the California mansion. Dale Morey, they have no significance on the floor. None. They have no significance. Ben doesn't make you better. Ben doesn't make anybody better. He's a run, dunk, pass guy. And the passing isn't even leading to assists, meaning, in other words, direct buckets these days, so it just does not make sense to me why you would not move forward. You're not going to get a superstar, even if, again, you have to think about it from Portland's perspective. If you're Portland, and let's say you do start 7 for 27, 4 for 14, whatever, they max out. Do you want to replace Damian Lillard with Ben Simmons? Really? That's the best young player you can get? A guy who quit on a franchise, a guy who has no desire whatsoever to improve his game, a guy who has absolutely zero professional work ethic. It's kind of funny. Shams Shinara, reported the whole CJ Ben thing, right? Well, underlined, not really put into too much focus, is that Portland was like, look at this guy. One of the reasons we wouldn't trade 6 first round picks and CJ for this guy is that we don't know this man. We don't know if 2-5 is committed. And I'm serious. For all 30 NBA teams, you don't know if Ben is committed to a basketball program. You just don't know that. He's committed to his contract and he's committed to his pay, but not necessarily to the organization to trade for him. And because of that, if you're Portland, you don't give up CJ and 6 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. If it were maybe 2 or 3 first-round picks, they might have bitten the bullet and been like, ah. But that's just it. It's a, and Dale Morey doesn't get that. Ben Simmons is not the Ben Simmons at LSU. Neil Oseley, the Blazers president of basketball operations, doesn't view him that way. I don't view him that way. Jake Lacob doesn't view him that way. And to be quite honest with you, probably nobody views him that way. He's ruined that perception, that image, with his on-court performance and his off-court antics. You can't rate Ben Simmons as a generational talent anymore. Because he's just not. Not until he's on the court professionally and serious about his career path. So there's that. I want Dale Morey to pull the trigger as quickly as possible. End it. End it for the Sixers. End it for Ben. End it for everybody involved. Because everyone's cutting their face here. Nobody wins. You're not getting Dame. You're not getting Beal. You're not getting a superstar. Definitely not under these conditions. But the next thing that I wanted to discuss is Doc Rivers is completely inane. Doc Rivers has lost it. Seriously, he lost it. He's been all over the place at training camp this offseason. I want Maxey to be Rondo. And then 48 hours later, he's like, you know what? There are more combo guards than pure point guards in the league. And I mentioned that the other day. And then we get thrown the twist. Shake Milton. After one game, by the way, Shake Milton outplayed Tyrese Maxey in that after game. Yes, Tyrese Maxey turned the ball over 4 times, uncharacteristic for him. But he was trying to make a play. He was trying to please your ass, Doc. A lot of his turnovers, you're trying to force a pass into a cutter. It's not there. He was trying to do the Rondo thing for you. That's why he turned the ball over that one time. Oh, and by the way, without Jerome B, without Tobias Harris. So basically, with the second unit, 4 turnovers. So now, all of a sudden, off of that one game of unideal circumstances, you decide Shake fucking Milton is the starting point guard. It's unbelievable. Shake Milton. I don't know what to say. First of all, the 4 turnovers that Maxey had, keep in mind, Shake Milton turned the ball over twice in that first game, and he turned the ball over twice again in the second game. Under 20 minutes. Shake Milton has a bad handle. Maxey turning the ball over is rare. Shake Milton, if you gave him the starting role in 25 minutes, I think he'll average more or less 3 turnovers a game. He doesn't have a good handle for a guard. Period. So if that was your number one big concern, that's one reason not to start Shake Milton, Doc. But let's get into the reasons that you gave us. It's true that Shake Milton shot the free ball well in 2018, 2019. Or is it 2019, 2020? I don't know. Whatever one. His sophomore year. His first year really in NBA basketball experience. Shake Milton shot the ball, and he shot the ball well in MSU. I scouted Shake, and I said this was one of his strengths. But then Shake Milton changed his shot. And then with more experience and more watching, what you realize is Shake Milton, again, doesn't have a handle, doesn't really have a shake, pun intended. So you don't get that shot off, you're not going to get Shake Milton penetrating to the rim. And you know, it's kind of funny, Doc himself said it, and Shake Milton is an outside shooter. He is a wingman. You literally said it last season. Shake Milton is not a guard or a point guard by any circumstance, period. I would rather see Isaiah Joe start at point guard. If we're at the point where Shake Milton is your starter, then you might as well start Isaiah Joe. Shake Milton continues to grade out poorly. He graded out poorly for me in the scrimmage. It's like, not a starting guard for an NBA team. You can have a placeholder at guard on the team with John B, Tobias Harris, etc. There's enough where if you're just a placeholder, if you're just okay, you can make that work to win games in this league. But Shake Milton isn't even a placeholder. To me, he's terrible at that position. He's terrible offensively. Defensively, he's non-existent. Oh, and that gets us to it. Doc Rivers with a straight face. Tyrese Maxey's defense. Doc, you don't know the first clue about NBA defense. Like, when Doc Rivers said this a couple of months ago, remember in April, about Tyrese Maxey's defense, it was triggering then, it's triggering now. Doc, you don't know what you're talking about defensively. Okay, you just don't. When I see Tyrese Maxey blowing up screens, getting into a guard's grill, doing a great job keeping the ball in front of him, That's great defense. And Tyrese Maxey plays great defense, I would say, 70 to 75% of the time. And if not, closer to 80%. He does a good job defensively, and he does an especially good job coming off screens and catching up the shooters. Fred VanVleet basically burned Steph Curry alive in the preseason game. Against Tyrese Maxey, he went 0 for 3. I've seen more positive things out of Tyrese Maxey. Defensively, he's 6'3", 200 pounds, with a 6'7" wingspan. Quite frankly, this whole Tyrese Maxey defense thing is where I have the strongest and most aggressive disagreement with Doc Rivers. You don't know what you're looking at. I'm sorry, but you don't. I grade Tyrese Maxey as a B plus level defender. He's a starting level defensive guard in this league. As a matter of fact, again, you are actually struggling to begin the preseason game, game number 2 Philadelphia. What changed? And also, again, you were struggling as well in the first game when you were at Toronto. Where did the struggle begin? You subbed Shake Milton in. Stop it. Shake Milton has failed every time you gave him lead guard responsibilities, and teams take advantage of it. Shake Milton is not a lead guard. Not offensively, not defensively. He has not played to that level. He is not my starter. You have to produce, and you have to be productive at the point guard spot. You don't get to play favorites there. If Tyrese Maxey stunk it up, I would be the first one here to say it and be like, I'm wrong. Maybe it's going to take time. But I actually see him growing more and more into his talent. But if you want Tyrese Maxey to be a sniper 6-man scorer, fine. You can start Isaiah Joe then. Hell, start Burkhan Courtmile at the wing and put Steph Curry. I don't care. I literally don't care as long as Shake Milton isn't it. He is the worst lead guard on the team. It's not ideal. Again, Dale Morey should get this over with. Get a guard in here. But my lord, of all the options that you have, Shake Milton is the worst of them. The worst of them. Worse than Seth, worse than Tyrese, worse than Isaiah Joe. And it isn't even a basketball player, it's the position. Terrible point guard. I would like to see him as small forward or shooting guard, but not point guard. It's over, Doc. Yes, he had a great game against you again that year and a half ago. He had a great game against you. Fine, whatever. One game. Just like that Toronto PG game. One game. You can't make an evaluation off that. Even I will wait to make an evaluation, and I'm the kind of person who typically doesn't need a lot of evidence. But, my lord. So I'm going to spice up some tape tonight of what Tyrese was able to do. They'll be real short, probably under 2 minutes. Of what he was doing defensively with VanVleet. Just to show everybody this bad defender. Fire Doc Rivers. I want Doc Rivers fired. Or at the very least, hire someone to manage the lineups for him. Because everybody but him, I bet even the players in the locker room, everybody to a man, sees that Shake Milton not better than Tyrese Maxey or an Isaiah Joe. He could be a part of this rotation, just not at point guard. 6 of the signing off.